You may have noticed a little bit of a change with the video podcast shorts, but it's only for this week. I'm getting us a little bit ahead of schedule. And today's might be shorter than usual, but it's a community post and it will be discussed also in one of our upcoming episodes. I will read and then we will talk a little bit, or I will share a little bit. You can always let me know if you have food for thought, questions. You can email me. You find email anywhere, even on the YouTube about section in and of itself. So please feel free. I can always see the patterns of the pieces of the whole of a person and the state that the person's self journey is on. It's quite amazing. If you are a YouTube member, you will have seen this in the community post. It is why I do all that I do with the inspiring human potential content and support people who want to be themselves and follow their heart. Now, it's very important to note that our actual self, every single human being on the face of this planet, that lovely body and mind, it begins a journey as an infant. So your self is you, the human you. Even if you're a 5D mystic, you will know this. In fact, the ones who don't are still on that journey. We'll get to that in a minute. And that's what we get to do. We get to help people, support people who are we, the individuals who tap into their infinite higher human consciousness potential, being a person, supporting each other to achieve that evolution, which is in the form of consciousness, which is here and then through our hands, right, in reality. So I help people to follow their heart because every person's heart holds love when they figure that one out. So there's that part. So let me get to again more of this. Did you know that your self, mind, heart, and body, as a human, is always leading you towards home? Even though I put the one little quotes, not the two. Did you know that home means a restorative embodied self, an integrated mind, a functional adult? Did you know that when a person gets home, they tap into their infinite higher human consciousness potential experience? And these are all topics we get to talk about on the IHP podcast episodes, but even any of the blogs, any of the courses, it's about being a person. Also, humanly speaking, getting home means achieving restoration of trauma memory in the body, as I keep uncovering in my numerous hours of educational learning on trauma, somatics, and neuroscience. Restoration meaning moving from trauma memory back to normal memory. Somatics and trauma-informed courses let me in on how our human trauma memory is always trying to get back to normal memory. There's a whole way that this has been explained and I've discussed it as well. But you can reach out. I'm happy to share that with you, a couple of sources as well. That the dysregulated and or modulated embodied self of a human being is always trying to achieve restorative embodied self state. Who knew? Now we do. So when trauma memory comes up, it's actually quite uncomfortable. And for some people, it's a lot more uncomfortable than for others. This is why our relationships are most important. Stand in and with uncontrolled love, with flaws and imperfections. Don't do the cancel culture. Don't do the silence culture. That's all 3D, 4D, separation consciousness, and adaptive children, people who need more functional adults. The unconsciously loving person who can be transparent and honest and grounded. It's not being nice. It's not being not nice. It's just being real. Support each other and support humanity through unconditional love with your own flaws and imperfections. I got plenty. We all do, right? That's why we laugh about them together. So, I know I laugh about mine. This is the lovely 5D plane. I've heard so much about it. I was waiting for me to see the different planets that I was shown way back when. No, I wasn't. I actually knew it wouldn't be 3 planets. I was like, that seems quite off. There's 1 planet. Physics, shows it. I'm not really sure where they're going with the 3 planes and all that stuff. So there you go. Also, this is very important to know. I recently shared something, and this is on YouTube. You can find it on the Big Think, the Big Think. So there's also the link in the community for the article, and you can see the video. And this one is important because it helps the 5D mystic one and or 3D, 4D person who wants to get out of the limited human consciousness, because it's limited when you are in a 3D, 4D. It's not good or bad. You're limiting your human consciousness. So the share is on trauma, memory healing, and nightmares. It is titled The Neuroscience of Nightmares. And I've mentioned this person before. Look it up again in the community and or go to the Big Think. It was published, the video, a couple days ago. People tend to get lost from their way back home. So from healing trauma memory to restore it to the normal memory, because we all have also normal memory, okay? And they don't return to that restorative embodied self. So the people that stop their way back home, it's because of the stories, personal narratives, spiritual holistic stories, or spirituality, limited focus, and so forth. And they have a complete disconnect or unawareness and or lack of curiosity on being a human, on living a human day-to-day life, on everything related to the life of a person as a person. Okay, so I see people, they miss out on this just because their focus is, again, externalized. And this is why I bring to the IHP community the spirituality, and the human elements. So I bring the missing human elements to the spiritual elements and the spirituality elements, and that way we can achieve wholeness. And people who want to tap into, of course, their infinite higher human consciousness potential experience in the lifetime of now. This is always an option. Not everybody is actually intrigued in learning about somatics or trauma, or that they have an embodied mind and like the brain and the nervous system. I have personally always been quite interested in understanding, and when I say that, what I mean is I've always wondered, like, how do you not notice your physical sensations and the way you're thinking? The physical sensations been explained to me because the insula gets underactive in specific types of that dysregulated and or modulated embodied self person. There's reasons why they're tuned out from their physicality. In fact, if you look into the developmental attachment researchers, you will uncover what secure attachment means and what non-secure attachment is. So avoidant, ambivalent, and then disorganized attachment. And you'll understand something about the sense of self for those individuals. The secure attachment, which would be the majority in US, according to statistics, 50 to 65% would be secure attachment human beings. And what was very fascinating when I heard that is not seeing many functional adults out there. I see cancel culture, I see silencing, I see modulated, because modulated is sympathetic, so they participate and not. So this is where they get very fired up, if you will, although fired up with a way of wisdom is not fired up the way that the individuals who are basically creating more of disconnect between each other while being disconnected from their feminine, which is their body, and not using their entire masculine, which can only work effectively as an integrated mind. So integrated mind means you can move between your left and right hemispheres, those two modes, and they don't work together the way that I've been learning about the mind. I still have to ask my question if I can remember. Maybe I'll get Daniel Siegel to answer me, but there was one of either his courses or another course where they actually said when you're using one, you're not using the other, but if you have an integrated mind, you're able to use them as that lovely infinity, you know. So we get to learn about being a human, the infinite higher human consciousness potential way. For those of you who want to tune in, there's paid subscription-based content for my people who are 5D mystics. That's really ideal for you, but I do have plans for content for just other types of inner growth mindset exercises. And remember, mindset is everything, because you lead first and foremost with your thought. The fact that the body can have trauma memory that's uncomfortable, you're the one who gets to say, wait, do I want to get out of this human suffering or do I want to stay in it? So the first question is posed by the person, which is why I try to get you to get to see you're an amazing person as you are. Just little work on that heart and bringing it forth Have a great day.